You came here today to come and witness a birth of a child, because today a pregnant African woman is giving birth to a child.
A new kid was born in 2013, promising to rattle the country's political landscape, and in so doing base its fundamental policy principles on 7 pillars, including the nationalization of mines, free quality education, healthcare, houses and sanitation, as well as land expropriation without compensation, to name a few. 10 years down the line, the party says these foundation pillars continue to resonate with ordinary people.
The land question today constitutes the core of every debate you can think of. The Judge President of Western Cape spoke about this land issue way after 2017. Everybody else who wants to fight the regime, the first thing they do, they tell them about the land and say, look at the patterns of land ownership in South Africa and want to tell us we have won. So you can be guaranteed the EEF 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars will constitute the core of every election manifesto of the EEF and become relevant.
The party is now reflecting on the journey that has made it the 3rd largest party in parliament in just 10 years. It attributes its growth to fighting the demon of factionalism, which it says is the downfall of many other political formations.
The leadership of the EEF must refuse by all attempt to engage in factional activities, because those things will kill the organization. So the EEF has not been subjected to that. That's a growth on its own, that you form an organization and it doesn't experience factionalism for the past 10 years. How do you do that? You become confrontational. You always say, what is this now? Where do you find this in what we are trying to do? Become honest with each other and not be pretentious to the detriment of the organization because you want to be liked by those you lead with.
It also notes its weaknesses.
Let's take, for instance, on the by-elections of the IEC and local government elections. The biggest problem of the EEF is its candidates. So it chooses people who are not known for community work. They start loving communities and their people the day they get chosen to be candidates for that ward. And therefore they lose, and they lose hopelessly, because the EEF must have the capacity to identify from amongst members of the community influential people who are loved by community, who contribute in the community.
The party has claimed victories through the insourcing of workers at certain institutions of higher learning and certain municipalities.
Comrades, we are the only party that fought for the insourcing of the workers in Quebec, in Johannesburg, in Tshwane, in many institutions of higher learning. We are going to continue to fight for the insourcing of the workers everywhere where we find temporary workers working for the government, because we don't want you to work without benefits, without pensions, without medical aid. We want every worker to be permanent with benefits.
Meanwhile, ordinary citizens have expressed their views on the party.
They're actually assisting in the community, and not only in the community, like in Africa as a whole, because they also have branches all over Africa. For example, like countries like Zimbabwe and other countries, Zambia and so forth. And also they do assist on the workers who are not treated right.
I think the EEF is okay as a party. One thing though that frustrates me is that they want us to embrace undocumented migrants.
Actually, they are the voices of those without the voice. So I mean, it's great. What they've done is great. Yes, you can't be 100% right all the time, or you cannot be perfect. No one is perfect after all. They are not perfect, but we embrace their imperfections just as they do with their own.
I feel the EFF do good work in the sense of helping the ANC to change some of their attitudes, but on the other hand, they're not open to work with other parties, and I feel they should take hands to be of advantage for the country, and they must change their attitude against racism.
Looking to the future, the party aims to gain more support at next year's elections with the intention of dislodging the governing party. Meanwhile, the EFF has banned close to 500 of its public representatives from attending its 10-year anniversary on Saturday. Amongst them are members of Parliament Vusi Khoza and Phiri Madokwe, who have failed to organize transport for their constituencies for the party's celebration. Natasha, Phiri, SABC News, Johannesburg.